Take a what?
Like if you're donating a horse,
A
like
gift horse.
A gift horse. I
You
love
ever
it.
look at gift
horse
horses
in the mouth.
We got a lot of nice gift horses out there.
So that's what I was gonna ask. So if you're on MC's team, they have their own horses.
And they're not your horses, they're in.
I didn't realize that. That's pretty
And
cool.
technically, they're really not even MC's horses because all of our horses are donated. So once we get done with them, we send them back in.
Is there one named Gregor?
Gregory, no.
So do you work with the same horse then throughout the season?
No.
Okay.
I work.
See, I would have to do the same horse.
I usually work with the same horse because the horse just loves me.
Well, that means that you have to be used to each other. Like you have to have like a bond when you're doing that. I would think.
All right. The next energy level, I need to erase this. Sorry, I don't have that down. The next energy level we go to is the third energy level. There's supposed to be a d orbital in that energy level. If you look at the periodic table, where does the first d orbital occur?
In the
Fourth.
No.
It occurs in the fourth row, right?
fourth row.
He does. Oh, here's one. So I'm supposed to have a d orbital in the third energy level.
Oh, I get it.
So this is my s orbital. This is my p orbital. Well, I do not see anything in the d block until I get to the fourth energy level. So what happens is the 4s orbital is lower in energy than the 3d orbital.
Wow. Okay.
And then once I hit 4s, 3d, I go back to 4p.
So 4S, but then it goes back up.
Mm-hmm. If you use the periodic table as kind of like a map, you'll never mess it up because you know this is an S block. Anytime you're in an S or P block, the energy level corresponds to these numbers. The D block is always one less. So here's 4S, then I hit 3D. I go all the way over 10 spots, then I pick back up with 4S. Same is true for the fifth energy level. I go S, 5S, 4D, 5P. If you use the periodic table, you'll never mess it up. Some people don't follow that.
Well, we're supposed to return our eliminated ones back in yesterday, right?
I'm going to send yours down this way.
Thank you.
All right, so if you can't remember that, then you can use this chart. I'll let you use this chart on the test if you need to. Okay. So what you do, you start at the tail and you go to the head. So you go 1S, 2S, 2P, 3S, 3P, 4S, 3D, 4P, 5S. Y'all follow that? Okay. Okay, let's see.
I think it's easier just looking at the periodic table. I don't know, maybe I'm looking at the
Yeah, I've never
chart
learned the
wrong.
periodic table. I never learned it that way because my teacher always so confusing.
I know it's not in the back.
Where's my periodic table?
All right, so let's do a few examples of some bigger elements. And as we go through the examples, I'm going to give you some laws or rules that we have to follow when we're doing this. The first one is Hund's rule. definition's about as clear as muddy water. Is that orb? Fill the orbitals singly? Okay. Alright, so Hund's rule states, formally states, the most stable arrangement of electrons is the one in which the number of electrons with the same spin is maximized. In other words, you fill degenerate orbitals singly before having to pair them. An example, say I'm in the 2p orbital. Each of my lines here, y'all know how many electrons can be in that line?
1, 2,
2.
2.
2 electrons can be in each of these lines. Hund's rule says because these 3 orbitals are the same energy, we're going to go through and put them in one by one. Then come back if we have to and pair them. So this would be the most stable arrangement compared to.
That's what I was going to ask. Can it be like, to go back in and fill it, if you don't have enough, could it be like 2, 2, 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is good. This is no good.
So this is most stable.
I always use the analogy as, say you and 3 coworkers are going on a trip and y'all are renting a hotel. Well, y'all got 3 hotel rooms. Are you all 3 going to pile up in one hotel room?
Yes.
No. You're going to use those 3 hotel rooms, okay? They're coworkers, not friends.
I know, right?
MC would make all 20 of us sleep in a hotel room.
Futons, pull out.
Yeah, pull out the couches,
The cots
boys,
that they
girls
bring in,
together,
yeah.
we don't even care anymore.
Gotta cut costs.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's do, I guess I can do it over there. Let's do oxygen.
So when I say, okay, so each one of the little, like over the 2p, each little line is an orbit.
Right.
Okay. So
Orbital.
2 electron, orbital.
Yeah, 2 electron in each
per
line.
orbital.
And the reason that is coming up in another rule.
Okay, that's fine. I was just making sure that I'm writing it down correctly.
What doors do y'all enter? MCC doors or Hederman?
MCC. Now we'll exit through the Hederman.
Yeah, y'all just.
Yeah. But we have to go through the MCC to turn in our paper with our temperature. Because that's where the station's set up.
Dr. Smith, the one y'all watched in the video, she's coming, and Miss Shoemaker.
Now, if she works here,
She doesn't work here anymore. So I'm trying to tell her how to get in the building so she can.
okay. I was gonna say, if she works here, her key card will.
Yeah, work. And this morning I was walking in and I forgot my mask and I just kept on walking.
I don't know that they, well, I mean. 'cause
Do y'all have to have a mask on to leave the checkpoint station?
Yeah, we have to have it on when we go to the checkpoint station.
They don't make me put it.
But they're young. Like, they're not gonna say, they wouldn't say anything to her, I don't think.
Yeah.
I usually walk over there and I walk without my mask on.
Well, 'cause you,
Temperature.
but you always gotta get your temperature taken. I just go and turn that paper in and walk off.
Saying that you've already taken it. Okay, let's do oxygen. So oxygen has how many electrons?
It is going to have
Y'all-
6,
No. 8.
8,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8, 8.
So I have 8 electrons I need to find a home for. So I have to start with the lowest possible energy state. So that would be the 1s orbital. Then I'd go up to the 2s. Then of course 2p. So I'm going to start with filling the s orbital and just work my way up until I have placed all 8 electrons. So 1s, I have to put 2 electrons in there before I can jump up. So then I go to the 2s, put 2 more electrons. I've used up 4 electrons.
We need 4 more.
So according to Hund's rule, I'm going to go through this p orbital, but fill them with 1 electron first, then go back and put the last one in. So this would be my orbital diagram.
For oxygen.
Now let's write the electron configuration. You always start by writing the element symbol, then list out your electron configuration.
We had some of these on that last mastering.
There were?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Must have been doing
The,
quantum
like,
numbers.
yeah.
All right, so the electron configuration. I start at the bottom, I go 1s. I put 2 electrons in there, so I'm going to give it a superscript of 2. Yeah, superscript. Then I enter the 2s, 2 electrons, so it also gets 2. And next I go to the 2p, and I put 4 electrons in there, so the 2p gets a superscript of 4. So your s orbital holds 2 electrons, p holds 6, d holds 10, f holds 14. So how would I have gotten to this electron configuration had I not drawn this orbital diagram? Is I would use my periodic table as a map, and I have to go through the 1s orbital. So here's first energy level, here's the s, the 1, 2. Okay, 1s orbital is filled. I go to the 2s energy level, I go 1, 2. 2s is filled. go back over here to boron, and I'm entering the 2p orbital.
Ah, I got it.
And I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
I know, isn't that
Bonds
great?
there. Yeah, I don't know how you put that into words, but.
So this is the S. And then
Oh,
G.
where were those?
In the coffee room.
This is D. And this is P. Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna stop shop.
That was a mistake.
I didn't notice it either.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Fine. Alright, go have fun. Working away, and you're working away. Good deal.
She's so sweet.
Alright, why don't y'all try,
I'm gonna get that on that thing. What do I do?
let's try, why don't y'all try sulfur?
I'm looking for that handout that you gave us right there yesterday.
Oh, the tables?
Yeah. I know it's in here. Anyway, I'll do it. Okay, sulfur.